Here's the story from the Post-Millennial. Timpool announces plan to sue Kamala Harris campaign for defamation, because even though I'm literally sitting here and I'm going to tell you all about it, we always source our stories.
Libby, do you know about this source? Have you heard of it before?
Not only have I heard about this source, but I wrote this story.
Indeed.
Wow, that's incredible.
So we'll cut to the chase. I tweeted I've engaged legal counsel. We are preparing to take action. More to come. There's a lot that I cannot discuss for obvious reasons. And I will stress that in most circumstances, and basically in all of them, where you've heard me discuss our legal challenges, legal issues, our lawsuits, we never discuss details. However, this story is largely political. It is a massively viral video from Kamala HQ that has 11.5 million views. So this wasn't one of their passive posts. This is one of their, I should just say it's a very large post. The Harris campaign posted, Trump operatives say their Project 2025 plan is to give Trump total unchecked legal power so they can jail and execute those who don't support Trump if he wins. They have since scrubbed this video from YouTube. So I'm just going to come out right and say, I am not a Trump operative. I have never received any money from Trump's associates, or anything to do with Donald Trump. This company has received zero investment. This company is built from the ground up from my personal savings at first, then sponsorship revenue, which came from various companies like, gold companies and things like that. But largely programmatic ads that I don't even know what they are. So when these videos appear on YouTube, YouTube runs ads. I don't know what they are. Using that money to invest, I have received no money from anybody. I have nothing to do with Project 2025. I have zero association at all with anybody, anything to do with this. And the closest thing is they've appeared on the show at some point. And but in any way having to do with Project 2025 is absurd and not true. I have never called for total unchecked legal power for anyone. In fact, I've argued against it. And I oppose the death penalty in all circumstances, and have routinely argued on this show the death penalty is wrong, and I do not trust the government to decide who gets to live and die. To make the claim that I am calling for that is shockingly insane. I do not believe there is a more extreme thing you could say about a person that other than to indicate they were calling for the genocide of political factions in a country that refuse to support a presidential candidate should he win. And for this, we are suing we are pursuing this legal action. So there's a lot more we can talk about, I suppose, in this. Laura Loomer was also in the show. One interesting thing I can say, Laura Loomer at the end of this clip, it's a show, I believe it's from June 1st. Let me play a little bit for you, and you can hear the context, and then I can explain what the full show actually was discussing. Should Democrats be in jail? No question. When Donald Trump gets elected, should he start locking them up? No question. Should there be lists of Democrats that need to go to jail? 100%. And the reason for that is they've committed crimes. Yeah. We need to make sure that when Donald Trump wins, we've got an attorney general, a deputy attorney general, a head of the CIA and the FBI. Kash Patel would be fantastic. We can have attorney general. There's some names floating around. And then they can start having their investigators and the feds issuing subpoenas, pulling up evidence, and with real evidence, bring them to judges for warrants. Then these people can spend three years of their lives fighting tooth and nail for the crime against the government for crimes they committed, and we can prove. Yeah. And the reason why we put them on trial is that we can show the whole world we will uncover what you've done. We will make sure everyone knows, and you will be held accountable for it.
Not just jail, they should get the death penalty. We actually used to have the punishment for treason in this country.
And then the show ends. And I'll tell you why. It's because we do not allow calls for violence on this show, allusions to violence. We do not call for the death penalty on this show. That is not allowed. The show is in its full on Rumble, iTunes, Spotify, and all their podcast platforms. It wasn't scrubbed because any of us were concerned about. I don't know what they're trying to imply by saying we scrubbed it, but I'll give you the context. This is about Sean Davis of The Federalist, who said he wants to see lists of Democrats that will be arrested when Trump wins. The point I'm making, as you can hear, but they've excluded the context in the before this minute-long clip, is I said, make sure that there's evidence, real evidence. The point was this. Sean Davis said he wanted to see a list of Democrats who Trump was going to arrest. Later on, we even had Steve Bannon say there need to be arrests of 10 high-ranking Democrats who have committed crimes. My point is this. If you are going to say that there are going to be arrests of Democrats, you need to have real evidence and warrants and investigations and prove those crimes. That was the context of this. I oppose the death penalty. Later on in the show, as the show continues, which they could have chosen to show if they wanted to, I say there's not even treason here. It's seditious conspiracy at worst. These are people who are trying to subvert government for personal gain or benefit. They're not aiding enemies of this country. And that's the context of what we were talking about.